If you want to know what it looks like to train 30 hours a week at 40 degrees Celsius, 2,000 meters altitude with one goal on your mind, Olympic glory, well, you came to the right place. Come with me for a week of training with the F.A.S.T team here in the United States of America on the world's fastest ice. Now we're gonna climb that thing.
Despite what you might think, being a skater in the summer is no easy job. It is definitely not hanging out by your private pool if that's what you imagined it to be. It is in fact way more hard training than we do in the winter. The fact that the season is so short, about 4 months, allows us to dig extra deep in the summer, and honestly the best we can do is just to build so much fitness and be so prepared that when the ice kicks in, when the season starts, we can grind, we can rip, and we can train extra hard with extra quality. In this episode, I'm going to let my coaches speak a bit about what we do in the summer and why we do it, and upon popular demand, I am going to dive into my nutrition, explain how I eat, why I eat, what I eat, and what is the purpose with it. And of course, just like the last episode, we're going to look at all the crazy stuff we do at practice. I promise it'll be entertaining. I promise you will be surprised by some of it. And I promise you're going to have fun. I'm stoked you're joining for this video. I decided to make a full disclosure video, a vlog, what I do in a week as a speed skater. I've been to 2 Olympic Games, currently training for my 3rd in long track speed skating. I'm also an inline skater, and I just wanted to let you know what we do in a week of summer training. I'm here in the United States of America. I represent Team Denmark, but I often train in the US together with my wife. She is originally from Russia, even though she also skates for Denmark. But here we both speak the language, we have so many social connections, and more importantly, we have an awesome team, the best conditions, the fastest ice, altitude training, heat training, just right here. So we love it here, and we do train a ton in the summer. You will see in this video that it's hard work. My coaches are gonna explain a bit what it is we're up to, but basically we train twice a day, sometimes once a day. This week especially is the 3rd week of a 3-week hard period. So that's mostly how we do it. We do 3 weeks where there is a specific focus in each of those 3 weeks, and then we have a recovery week. I am right now at the end of that week, so if I do look super smashed, that's probably why. But I just figured it would be easier making this intro video at the end of it because I know how everything went, how everything felt. This week, the focus was cycling. Most of the weeks we do a ton of aerobic work. The season's so far away from us still, even though we're right now at the end of June. It is mostly just building up that basic fitness and the skills to skate well. That's why we try and combine so many different sports. We do hockey skating, we do short track skating, cycling, weightlifting, dryland, stairs. I also promised I was going to talk a bit about my nutrition in this video. So I'm just going to get that out of the way right here. It is a thing I focus a lot on. It's my educational background. I have a university degree as a nutritionist or a dietitian. So obviously it's a field where I feel like I have some knowledge. I also decided to go that way and study that simply just to get better at skating, to be fully honest. Sorry, Mom. But it is something I am very focused on. It's something I use. This year, my goal has really been to see how low a body weight or how low a fat mass I can get while still having energy to give everything at practice, avoid being sick, and just limit fatigue. That's been going super well so far. It is a thing I do by, I wouldn't say counting my calorie intake, but to some extent being very, very aware of it. I do know approximately how many I get per day. And then I find the key to still being able to perform well while living on a, to some extent, limiting diet is just by hitting the right amount of macronutrients. For me, that's how I keep fueled. I get the protein when I need it, right after practice, combined with carbohydrates, of course. I do make sure to fuel specifically for the workout and for the needs and demands of that workout. And then obviously, as you know, I do use my ketone IQ shots. They are fantastic, especially if you're just trying to lose weight. They are really great in limiting your appetite. And then it does give you fuel, an additional fuel. So that's some extra energy I get for relatively few calories. So I try and time it well with that. But I do really find that the key to maintaining a healthy weight is a macronutrient balanced diet. So the correct amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fatty acids at the right time of the day. So for me, that means some huge portions. We're talking serious portions of food before these 5+ hour bike ride. And then on other days like today where I'm fully off, thank Lord. I eat much less, and it's mostly protein based because I just want that muscle recovery. Of course, I still need my glycogen storage to be refilled for the next workout, but I trust that I have time enough, even with a slightly limited carbohydrate intake. I try and limit my fatty acids to the healthy ones, the polyunsaturated ones, so I also get the health benefits, but without adding unnecessary fat to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on the nutrition part. I use this Ultrahuman M1. It's a glucose monitor that connects with the ring that I use also to track how well I'm doing. And I really just try and fuel up with, as you can see here, our closet full of different supplements. And yeah, so I just use as many of those as I need to keep or stay within my my glucose zones during the rides, during recovery. And I feel like that's the nicest, the easiest guidelines to stay within those zones. Like how low can you go in terms of calorie intake, but still get the full benefit of your workouts, and then obviously eat a healthy diet.
I do take a bunch of supplements. I do really enjoy chasing these marginal gains. And I made a specific video on just the supplements I take, so you're gonna have to wait for that one. But in that, I'll of course reveal what I take and also what I believe is essential to skaters or different athletes doing middle distance, I would say in the grand scheme of things, events. But for now, let's just get back to my training.
Team ride! How we doing, Will? Doing great. Another diesel engine, Kimbo. Got the whole squad here. A long one today. 100-miler plus. But it's fun with friends. Utah's beautiful. So whenever we ride, it's either hills and then everybody go at their pace. We try and do the hill rides to be the harder ones whenever we have intervals, zone 3, zone 4. And then, day like today, flat ride, about 200 kilometers. It's kind of nice because whoever needs higher intensity or needs to go faster, they can just take more leads and the rest can just hop on the back. Then we got Mitch, our head coach, the van over there. Sometimes bikes with us, if not, on days like today, which most days honestly, plus 30 Celsius. He brings us water, snacks, helps us if we puncture, or helps people catch up sometimes also. So, kind of nice, sweet cool.
I mean, that's what you want in a burger. So that's exactly why I didn't want a burger. Because I might reject that right now.
Day 2 of this bike-ish at home camp. Our 3rd week of ice. In Salt Lake City, here's my boy.
Yes,
Mr. Eddie Lopez.
Let's go!
We're hurting a bit today. Unlike yesterday, it was just steady and flat for basically 200 kilometers today. Shorter but steep. We had the first high intensity of the season, climbing to 3,000 meters, which for me ended with half an hour at threshold was the goal. And it turns out your threshold is basically 50 watts lower at 3,000 meter altitude. So it was rough, just hurting the lungs. But it's also the fun.
Yes, sir, part of it. Let's do it.
So in my opinion, the hardest part about training here in Utah compared to back home in Denmark is obviously the altitude. It's super cool having that option. Today we rode up in Park City. It's a little cooler temperature-wise, so that makes it bearable. That is the other big thing. Most days here in the summer go up to almost 40 Celsius, close to 100 Fahrenheit. So that's the hardest part. I think I drank 8 bottles today and at least 6 hydration gels and 6 ketone shots just for this one ride. So it's definitely something that takes, I don't know, some good habit implementation. But it's bearable. It's nice with the team. I felt really good on the ride today, especially the climb, which always a little nervous when you get to such high altitude. But it was better than previous years, and the whole season so far has been better. I don't know why. Just been maybe more mature about the training zones and been jogging a bit more. I think that helped with the cadence on the bike and I don't know, maybe stronger calves. And then now I'm just finished the ride. I'm gonna go back, end it solo, gonna go back with the group, try and find the others, pace them up the mountains. I'm the best cyclist on our team, so I try and help out there. And then when we do things where I'm not so good, such as short track, they teach me a lot, especially Sofia, my wife. She's one of the best short track skaters ever, so super cool having her as a role model for the short track, and then vice versa on the bike or on the long track skates or inlines. So that's nice. Makes it fun to be part of a team.
What are we eating? We do together? No, pero no.
Scusi, mamma Bergland, che passa?
Facciamo una classe di pasta, facciamo i ravioli oggi.
Way too much. Like.
Hey there, yesterday was nice. Honestly felt better than I expected for a first high intensity workout of the season. Today is, I wouldn't say chill, but it's nice in a way that it's some different modalities. I'll be going out for a jog, as you can see, in just a second. An hour and a half, so looking to do something between 5:40 minutes per kilometer, so pretty chill, zone 2. Just to activate some different muscle groups. We have the goal of doing some high intensity on the running shoes later this season. So even though it's a bike week, still want to keep, the muscles going and just maintain that running mileage that I've been having over the season, just to be able to do some good runs later on as we get closer to the races. And in the afternoon, we will have some hockey starts to get better at sprinting. I think it's super cool. We use different styles of skating. So we're gonna do it on hockey skates, which definitely not my cup of tea, the hockey skates or the starts, but even more the reason to practice that. And right after that, we're gonna hit the gym.
This guy's Wyatt, our weightlifting coach. Why do we train like this in the summer, Wyatt? What do we focus on?
Early in the summer, we need to focus on work capacity and making sure our movement patterns are solid, so that as we continue to progress through the summer, we can focus on our max strength and our hypertrophy gains, bigger, stronger, more explosive. Right now, early on in the summer, we're focusing mostly on max strength and patterning, and as we build that capacity up, we start to introduce the speed, and that's where our power comes from. So right now, laying big groundwork. That's what we're doing.
Mitch, when we're not in the gym, what are we doing in the summer? Why are we biking so much?
Nice tan.
Why are we skating short track?
Vitamin D levels. You're actually asking.
We're actually asking.
Yeah, same or similar thing to what Wyatt was saying, is building the capacity first. Really all those hours on the bike are setting us up so we can recover better between workouts once we actually get on the long track. It also helps us, be fitter in those races, but most of our races are short enough that, to me, it's making it so you can do more and more training once we're actually on the ice.
Damn, you guys are good at it. You should coach. We're done for the day, at least. We did hockey starts. That was hard. Both Soph and I are sore in the hip flexors and all of our bodies, basically. It was nice. I think we're mostly sore because we don't do so much, but that's also why we do it so early in the season. I think for both of us, it's where we have almost the most to improve. And even though it starts, I think a lot of it transfers into middle distance, long distance. It's all about where you have the body weight, how you position your hips, being engaged, getting into the ice. This is good. We did some starts. We did some back and forth rest 10 times. And then we hit the gym, did squats, did a lot of repetitions with a kettlebell, and mostly just like auxiliary exercises. So not crazy high impact, because again, I don't think we'd be able to because we've been biking a bunch. And then we're back home, in the pool again, because we like water.
Let's go. Ui.
This week's one and only short track session, a bunch of drills, mostly corner crossover based. It's also where we get the most out of the short track. Tiny tracks, as you can see here. Super cool. We have professional short track skaters and rookies like myself out here. So today was 2 technical relays, and then now a little bit of speed.
Hello. Today's Friday and we are going to hit weights. It's very early, so we're a little sleepy. How are you feeling?
I feel alright. My hip flex is still sore from doing starts on the skates, but hopefully it'll be fine to do some good lifting.
Later in the afternoon we're gonna hit a really hard workout on the stairs, so we are already super scared about it and thinking all day about it. But also excited.
Yeah, maybe you already realized that, but in this week, even though it's very aerobic, we still try and divide it. So the early week, lots of cycling, plus 10 hours the first 2 days. And then now we're doing more of the muscular training. So today is just burning the legs, many repetitions in the gym, and then stairs, basically walking up the stairs up in Park City at high altitude, where they do the ski jumps. So next to that, there's a ton of stairs. We walk up those 5 times, so 4 to 5, so crazy high intensity. It's basically all out. It's for sure gonna be all out. But first we're gonna do some weightlifting and finish off the gym with some very skating specific stuff. So some side pushes and 5 sets of turn cable crossovers, just to optimize how much of that neuromuscular adaptation we can carry on to the skates and make it skating specific.
Fun stuff. Yeah, let's go.
Go.
Holding the gate. So drop in, holding the gate, slow it out. And I hit that off my shoulders. But if you notice,
Hello everybody, we just finished a really hard workout. Viktor ran up that thing for 5 times. It was very hard. It was the hardest workout of the season for him. Second sprints, that's 10 times, which was all out. It was really hard as well. So we're really tired and we're gonna get a milkshake at McDonald's right now.
Yeah, so even though it's painful, it's a super nice way to combine muscular training, sort of close to skating. Like, these stairs are about where you have a 90-degree knee bend when you take 2 steps at a time. So trigger, maximum muscle capacity as well as lung capacity, because we're at 2,100 meters of altitude here at the bottom. So I assume a little higher up there. Crazy painful. My watch tracked 28 minutes, zone 4 or above. So not the most fun thing.
Very fun.
Very fun.
Good.
But we trust that it'll make us better skaters, and that makes it worth it. And it was super cool because you go down the stairs as well, and then all your teammates, you cross them, they cross you, and everybody
cheers each other up,
yeah.
And our teammates are the best.
That was super nice. We could, for very obvious reasons, not film anything from that because, wow.
That was painful.
That was painful. There was no time and no focus. It wasn't the priority. But just imagine a lot of heavy breathing and a lot of pain. What's next, Sof?
A lot of rest. Tomorrow we got a long bike ride, and then Sunday's rest, and next week is recovery week, so looking forward for that.
Hell yeah. Starting out with 2 ketone shots and 2 Sunday ice creams, right?
Yeah.
Preparing for the final workout of the week, I assume a 5-hour plus bike ride. We're gonna climb 2 climbs, one short and steep and then a long one. There's not gonna be any more intensity. The legs are pretty fried, to be honest, but we should be able to keep zone 2 all the way. Soph's gonna drive the car there with her bike, and I'll join my bike as well. Just riding from here, and then we'll meet up there in 2 different groups. The team will go up the hill, straight way back, and then a nice flat loop to end with. And yeah, just wanted to show you what I'm actually bringing in my back pockets here. 2 ketone shots, I'd say 1 before, 1 after, and 2 during. And then a little bit of everything here. I like the gels, the chews are fun, and especially when it's warm, the gels are nice. I don't really like bringing anything with too much chocolate in them. And that's about it. Let's hit it.
Last one, best one.
Oh yeah.
Back at it with Wilkie Power.
9.5%
For a long time.
for a long time.
Oh.
As some big boys.
Yeah. Skating and 9% does not go well together. It's nice though. We try and keep a high rhythm, high RPM, and keep it aerobic as much as we can. And then we got 2 recovery days after this one. Double. Pretty sweet. Hell yeah. All right. 4 more hours. Let's go. Made it to the top. Basically, 3rd time where we go almost up to 3,000 meters above the sea. Super cool. Literally, temperature-wise, it's nice. And oh yeah, look at these cars. So American. I'm trying to make a block here. I feel like I should mention why we do all these high altitude, hot temperatures things. So when you spend long time at high altitude, you develop more red blood cells, meaning you can drive, more oxygen into the working muscles and you can go for longer. It also means it's harder. That's why we have to acclimate. But when we get down to sea level for the competitions later on in the season, it's just fantastic having an extra gear, and that really pays off. Also, everything feels a lot easier when you're used to it. So you basically just become like a superhuman, legal natural doping. And for the high temperatures, it increases the total volume of the blood plasma, which again means there is more oxygen driving around the blood, so you can keep going for longer. Especially if you do train. And unlike what you might think, speed skating gets pretty damn hot. We wear these latex suits, and the rinks, the good ones, are not cold. They're 20 degrees Celsius, especially at the big competitions. So it gets really warm, and just being able to perform under those conditions, well, makes you go faster. Now it's time for some descending. It's my boy Eder.
He's vlogging.
And Will. We're vlogging, Will. Any comments on this hill?
Whew, I think this is my #1 hill. Like, we get shade, it's so beautiful, like the grade is so perfect.
That was everything for this week. Today is Sunday, beautiful Sunday. There's no training, that's the beautiful part about it. And I am just out for a chill recovery walk. The legs hurt, the calves especially hurt. And it's important to keep moving even though it's not a training day, because there's a new week coming up. I know it's a recovery week, but that doesn't mean it's easy. I just want to thank all of you for watching this video. I'm grateful to have so many people following me, Sofia, and especially for, supporting us. I think about this way more than you guys can imagine, that there's so many of you sitting behind the screen cheering at us and just wishing for us to do our best. I love seeing your comments. Enjoy that we're not just the 2 of us. I skate to prove to myself that hard work pays off. And and also to prove it to all of you guys. So just knowing that you're out there watching means the world to me. So I appreciate that. In return, I promise to make more videos just like this one. I also promise to go through all the comments and see what you guys are actually interested in hearing more about. If you do want to support Sofia and I in continuing this wonderful life and being able to basically just improve our video game and improve our training conditions as we come closer to the new skating season, you can always purchase any of the training plans you find below here. And you can also now become a member of this YouTube channel. Depending on what tier of membership you decide on, well, you're gonna support by a tiny or larger amount, and in return you're gonna have access to some super cool videos that I have made for members only. For the next episode of Come With Me for a Week of Training, it will be when we're back on the real ice, the long track ice, and I am gonna dive a little more into depth with how I manage being a professional speed skater, all the sponsor work, how the heck do you even pay for all this portion of it, and basically how I taught myself to be my own manager. It's not always easy, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of work, but we're here and things are definitely moving forward. So that's also what I'm about to do later today. I'm gonna spend some time with my different recovery tools, all those small marginal gains, have a meeting with a thing called core body temperature to learn how to use heat training and manipulate that in our favor, and then just massage with the 10 stick, breathing with the AeroFit, all those tiny things that add up, and that's what maybe one day will make you an Olympic champion, and then answering a bunch of emails. But for now, I'm just gonna enjoy this beautiful Utah lake area and just say thanks a lot, everybody. See you in a little bit.